Head coach Clinton Mylymok joining me right now. And coach, a tough weekend for you guys, 2 overtime losses. Your perspective on this past weekend?
A bit of the same. We're just in a rut where it's some okay, some in different play, and it's not the skill. It's always going to come down to the little things, the details, how you play away from the puck. And let Danbury play a very very good weekend. They play hard. They're well coached, and they seem to be more excited to play us than we were to play them, and not because we don't respect our opponents, but that little extra jump. And so we tell our guys, and we're trying to tell them, like, hey man, like we had to be excited too about maybe we get in a fight, we should be more excited, or a hit or a back check. This was little things, right? Find that energy and find that excitement, and that's what was lacking, at least on the bench a little bit. So they gotta be excited to play with their teammates. It's so supposed to be fun, and they got to have some enthusiasm. They're kids. Like I keep telling you, you're not old, you're kids. So have some youthful exuberance and excitement.
One shot to the arm, and a little bit of excitement. It was the return of Evan Sofikitis to the blue line after 4 months. Your assessment on him and what he provided this weekend?
Yeah, he was the man amongst boys. I mean, his energy, his strength, his pace. I can't believe how well he played after being out so long. And you expect like excitement and to have some energy, but man, he was just a different player than most kids on the ice, both teams included. I thought he was just different. I thought a guy like Nielsen, just different. Like he was light years ahead of kids on the ice on both teams as well. I just thought with the pace but yeah, Sophie having him back. I mean, he's just such a steady guy, but his leadership, his competitiveness are things you just can't cheat on, like or fake. And he's got it. And man, he was lights out. And we tried limiting his minutes the second game, just because I think he played 17 the first game, and we had him about 10 the second game. But he could have played 27 if you asked us. But we didn't always get to make that call when a kid comes back from an injury.
Make sure that ankle's a little bit more in shape and.
We're like, well, no, push it, and he can handle it, and he's got to get through it mentally, which I think is a big part of it too. And I think games are at this time, especially for competitive kids like him, I think the games are easier than like the day-to-day practices. But I've told him and Amber, it's like the goal isn't to get him on the ice to practice. The goal is to make sure he's ready for games. So whatever we need to do during the week, so he can pile up those minutes is important. And certainly Amber does a good job working with our players.
And circling back to Isac Nielsen for a minute, 5 points this weekend, 12 points in his last 10 games. What have you seen from him that has shown an improvement in the second half?
The pace that he plays at, it's high. I mean, it's a will. He's got a will. Like when you get a puck and you just skate as hard as you can and just beat one guy, and then all of a sudden, everything opens up. I mean, he's just so competitive, and his will is through the roof. His professionalism in terms of how he plays every game, he's the same player every game, and there's some guys that when you get to this time of year, you can see him just struggling. Like that's the difference with Dima. We always talk about a guy like Dimitri Kibru and his pace, and our team as a whole looked like we had all the energy, but like him alone counts for 10 almost. And that's where I think guys like Sofikitis and Nielsen are guys they have that ability to like take over games with their pace and their competitiveness. And I mean, the kid can score. He knows where to go to the net. He scored a huge goal with the clock ticking down on Saturday. And he's a guy, man. You want him on the ice in big moments. He's a big moment player. So can't say enough about him. I could go on and on about that kid. He's just he's impressive, and he shows up every game, and his teammates love him. He's a great kid.
A new face in the lineup, also a affiliate player, Ryan Ickes, coming into the lineup. What did you like from him in his first junior games and out there?
Smooth. Just I call he's a flat puck player, meaning he doesn't deliver us trash. The puck's not rolling. It's not like slapped where it's on edge. Like he gives you a chance if you get a puck from him to make a play right away. And we always emphasize, don't just slap it to your teammates. Don't just like, you got to give us a chance to make a quick play. And he does that. He's very smooth, skates well. He's very mature coming out of youth hockey. He already seems like his demeanor and how he skates and handles pucks and moves and his strength is already at a junior A level for sure. So it was good to have him in the lineup and give him a chance to get some experience and give us a chance to look at how he plays. And the first impression is a really good one.
This weekend against Northeast, big matchup between you guys trying to get back on the right side of the record and on the win column again. A very tough team over there in Northeast too. What's the big thing to not only get the 4 points, but also kind of stay out of the extracurriculars that they might have to bring forth?
Yeah, we saw that when we went there. I mean, we had one game where we handled them and we moved the puck and we had a lot of energy but it was clean passing. It wasn't choppy and they had a tough time with us. And then the next game, I think to their credit, their identity was to try and play physical, and they got after us early, and we weren't completing passes. So playing fast, you can't hit something you can't catch, or you can't hit us if the puck's gone, or you're going to take a lot of penalties. So our job is to move pucks when you play a team like that. But here's the other thing: they got skill. They got guys that'll make plays too. So if you're not sharp, they can put the puck in your net in a hurry. So I think they had a rough weekend against Rochester, so they got something to prove too. So our hands are always full when you put on our jersey and you play anyone in our division, like they want to beat us. And Danbury proved that if you're not sharp, anyone in this division can win at any given night. So our job is to be prepared and make sure that we're sharp. We got to be sharp with puck plays. I mean, I don't care what your system is. I don't care what you work on. If you can't pass the puck 5 feet on the tape, you're just killing the play, and it's demoralizing. So we got to get those things under wraps and make sure we're ready to be sharp.
Head coach Clinton Mylymok.